it's the idea that like, well, they're not coming for me, so. But when they do, who's gonna be left to save you, you know?
Hey guys, it's Kirbie. Welcome back to Pretty Unfiltered. Today's guest is Madeline Brewer. Madeline is currently on Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale, and I have to tell you, I am such a huge fan of this show. It has affected me on a personal level, as I think most of you guys have, been saying too on Twitter. I was like, Madeline's gonna be on the show, and they were like, just tell her that this show has really affected me on a deeper level.
Oh, I love that.
Which I think is definitely the point, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask, just to kick things off, was there a particular scene when you were reading through the script that validated your decision to move forward with this project?
Well, honestly, I think when I had auditioned for Janine, I don't believe I had read the whole first script.
Yeah.
I'd just gotten little excerpts from episode 1 and episode 2. They gave me a few of the scenes that kind of transition her from this fiery, outspoken young woman to someone who's kind of lost touch with her reality a little bit, and that just drug me right in immediately. She's just so much fun to play. She's got so many different layers. There's so much happening to her. It's like, how could I not?
It's not a boring character to play,
No.
to say the least.
Yeah, it's certainly not boring. Never a dull moment with her.
Once you got cast and received the script, was there one scene in particular that you thought, wow, like I'm a part of something really big right now?
Oh boy. There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so specifically just for Janine, there was this scene where she sings to her baby. I think it's in episode 3, where she kind of, that's her little form of resistance, and however small, it's like enough for her,
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember which episode it's in, but it's the scene where there's, I think, police officers or some sort of military open firing at a women's march.
Yep.
Which was just, I mean, it makes you lose your breath for a second, kind of thinking of this is something that could happen. Like,
Totally.
These people have the ability to make that happen, and I just really hope that we never get there.
That's so funny that you bring up that particular scene, because I've been watching it with my boyfriend, and when I watch that, it does kind of knock the breath out of you when you're viewing it. And it takes it to a level where, I think maybe before this year, the past 2 years, we might think like, oh, it's just, cinematic. It's just like something that's for entertainment value. It's something that could never happen here. And I think like everyone watching that particular scene was like, I went to a women's march.
Yeah.
I've
been to a march. I go out on the street with my friends, or even the guy in the coffee shop who says like, get out of here, you sluts.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been called a slut on the street before, but to see it, somehow just seeing it, I don't know, in that way, makes you realize like this can happen, and people have believed crazier things.
Exactly.
Than in this world of Gilead.
So when we see Janine at first, this, and by the way, spoiler alert, if you're planning on watching this, like we're going to talk about the subject matter, so it's happening. Sorry. But before she got taken away and her eye was removed, I feel like she was in that one state of mind. She was very almost defiant. Mm-hmm. And then it almost appeared like overnight she was like brainwashed and in this alternate reality. Was that the case? Or what do you think happened during that transition?
I think really for Janine is someone who has struggled, who has suffered things that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. She's been gang raped. We go into that a little bit, I think, in episode 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. And she's developed a way of coping with that, and coping with the way people approach her and how she approaches the world. And that's just to kind of say, fuck you to everything.
Yeah.
And just come out swinging, like, at all times. So that's kind of how she approaches the world, and then they knock that right out of her, just right at the top. At the first sign of resistance to them, they show her who's boss, essentially. But she, I don't think it's overnight. I think that there's something that happens to her where she realizes, I don't think I can live here anymore. I don't think I can suffer through this. I don't think I'm strong enough. Mm-hmm. And her strength is in choosing to not live in her given reality.
It's survival. Very much.
It's absolutely a method of survival. It's because if not, the only alternative for her is to leave, to be done with it. And she's just not that person. I think that she considers it and she thinks, no, I can't do that. I can't leave. I don't want to leave, but I'm just breaking. I think the most incredible thing a human being can do is to stay when they want to leave, and she does that. And it does seemingly happen overnight, I guess, in the way that like the scenes are cut. Yeah, but I think for her, it comes after that scene where she reveals this horrible moment of her life, and Aunt Lydia has everyone tell her it's her fault.
Yep.
You know, which is not so dissimilar to what we do to women who have revealed these atrocities that have been committed against them, and they've suffered things beyond my worst dreams, and we just tell them, what were you wearing?
Yeah, why were you out so late by yourself?
Did you drink?
Yeah, were you of the right state of mind? Yeah, exactly. It's horrible.
Did you provoke it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
You're like, great, thanks.
So that's where she, I think, has that moment of, I physically can't bear this anymore. I emotionally and mentally can't bear it. But then she does. She keeps going.
Yeah.
And I love her for that.
All right. So there are so many different themes in this series. There's a lot of talk about gender roles. There's a lot of talk about how religion plays into politics. And then also freedom of speech. But this is a very female-focused show for obvious reasons. So what do you hope that young women who are watching this show take away from it while watching?
I hope that they find their power. I hope that they find that they have power and they are a lot stronger than people want them to be in a lot of ways. I hope that they find that it is their responsibility to speak out. That it is, you can't leave it up to the next person or hope that someone else will talk about it and like, oh, this doesn't really affect me directly, so I'll just wait. It's the idea that like, well, they're not coming for me, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but when they do, who's going to be left to save you, you know? And even though we're seeing these characters in these more submissive roles, I hope and I love about the series that you can see on their faces just how they resist, and that you can't kill that fire. You can't stamp it out. You can't extinguish it. And I just hope that they realize that no one should ever extinguish their fire.
I love that. So I'm wondering, is there a recent moment that you struggled but you told yourself something or you were able to get through it, and what was it that you said or thought?
Okay, we're gonna go.
Yes, let's do it.
I had a rough time like a couple years ago. I was just in a bad place. I was unsure about my career. I was unsure of myself. I was unsure of what I wanted to do with my life and who really I was. I mean, maybe it's just a thing with your early 20s. I don't know. But I was massively depressed. I was massively insecure. I was like drinking a lot. I was just like free for all, just craziness. But at the time, I was acting like everything was perfect and everything was wonderful. You look on my Instagram from that time in my life and it's like, oh my God, I have so many friends and I love everything. And it's like, oh, what a beautiful day. And it's just like, I was hurting. Like I was really struggling a lot and just trying to push it away and pretend that I did not feel that way and just trying to be someone that I didn't feel that I was at that moment. And it's like, now that I'm out of that, and that's not to say that every day is sunshine and rainbows, because it's not. No one is that way. Trust me. But now, like looking back, and I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but I needed to feel that. I needed to feel the sadness and the kind of unsure despair that I felt at that moment. And I guess what I needed to know is that it is okay to be sad. It's okay. What is that line from that song? I think it's Jessie J. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
It's actually better for you in the long run, I think, to just let it be. You know, I'm quoting music. But they say it much better than I can. I found now that, like, it's okay to take a mental health day because it's okay to just feel like everything is wrong and like there's a black cloud over your head. You will come out on the other side. You just have to live in it for a minute and feel the hurt, feel the sad, and then like figure out what to do with it.
All right, Maddie, so what's coming up for you? Let's talk about that.
I have a film coming out. I would just have a small part in the movie Captive State, directed by Rupert Wyatt. Awesome. And I got to work with some really, really cool people on that. Ashton Sanders from Moonlight.
Yeah.
Cool dude. And just waiting to see what's up with Handmaid's Tale. We'll have a season 2.
So yes, we have Handmaid's 2 coming up.
Season 2.
Thank goodness. I'm so excited, guys.
I can't wait to see it.
If you have not seen the show and I wouldn't say this is an escape from reality by any means. I think there are a lot of parallels.
Kind of just puts reality just right there.
Yes. And like I will just warn you, episode 3 like tore me to shreds. Like I told my boyfriend, I was like, I'm physically ill. I can't watch this right now. Like we have to turn it off. So just know there's some heavy, subjects that are being covered, but they do it in such a beautiful, real, emotional way that I don't know anybody who watches the show that can walk away from it not thinking it's absolutely fantastic. So Maddie, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was lovely to have you. Let me know in the comment section below your favorite part of this interview, any upcoming guests you want to see or topics you want us to cover. As always, just chat me up, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter @Kirbie Johnson. See you next time.